After studying about electrodes, that is half cell, we'll go to a complete cell. Now, by this time you may be knowing that a galvanic cell consists of two half cells. That is, two electrodes are connected to form a galvanic cell or a voltaic cell. Basically, there are two types of voltaic cell. One is a primary voltaic cell and other is a secondary voltaic cell. Primary voltaic cell is the cell that cannot be regenerated. The meaning is the cell dies. Once the chemicals which are present in the cell, they are used up, they get over, they are finished. The cell dies. The cell cannot be regenerated. Such a cell, even if they are charged, they cannot be regenerated. Once the cell is used, it has a limitation. The chemicals are totally consumed, they are totally finished, and the cell reaction stops. Such a cell is said to be a primary voltaic cell, that is, it cannot be regenerated. Second is a secondary voltaic cell. This type of a cell can be regenerated. But this type of a cell never dies. It can be regenerated. But what is the meaning? Okay, in this type of cell, the charging and discharging is taking place. That is what is happening in our mobile batteries. There is charging and discharging. The generators that are used at home for getting electricity, those are also secondary voltaic cells. त्याच्यामध्ये केमिकल्स आहेत. आपण केमिकल यूज करतो, पण परत आपण त्या सेलला आपण चार्ज केला की you can generate electricity again from that. Such type of a cell is a secondary voltaic cell. म्हणजे what is required? You are supposed to charge the cell. When you connect that cell to a higher voltage than the cell. Suppose cell आपल्याला 2 voltचा EMF देतोय. त्याला आपण हायर वोल्टला चार्ज केला. चार्जिंग करताना हायर व्होल्टेजचा पोटेन्शियल आपण त्याच्यात पास केला. तर you will find that the cell can be used again. So that is happening in our mobile phones. The batteries which are used, those are all secondary type of voltaic cells. मग primary voltaic cells example काय आहे? Dry cell. Dry cell, that is the cells which are used in torch, calculators. Dry cell तुम्हाला माहिती आहे. हे dry cells एकदा यूज करून थ्रो करावे लागतात. They cannot be regenerated. But secondary cells can be regenerated. They never die. मग त्याच्यामधून one of the type of secondary cells is nickel cadmium. We are discussing about secondary cell. Nickel cadmium or NiCad storage cell हा एक प्रकारचा secondary voltaic cell आहे. That is, it never dies. You can regenerate the cell. Now what is used? Cadmium metal in the cell is acting as anode. That is, it will undergo oxidation. And nickel oxide. Nickel oxide, that indicates कि nickel is present in +4 oxidation state. Ni4 indicates nickel is present in +4 oxidation state, and it is acting as cathode, positive electrode, and it will undergo reduction. Anode undergoes oxidation, cathode undergoes reduction. And the two electrodes are present in the electrolyte, that is a base. त्या base मध्ये. Now we don't have diagram in the textbook. म्हणून आपल्या डायग्रामचा कन्सर्नच येत नाही, but this is the construction of the cell. Now we will see the reaction that is taking place at anode and at cathode. At anode, there will be oxidation taking place. That is loss of electron. So cadmium combines with 2 OH minus ions. OH minus ions are provided from the base. Basic solution मध्ये dipped आहेत. So cadmium combines with OH minus ions and form cadmium hydroxide with the loss of 2 electrons. This is a simple oxidation reaction taking place at anode. Very simple reaction. And reaction at cathode काय होणार? आता anode ने electrons lose केले, cathode electron gain करणार. So nickel oxide, because nickel oxide is acting as cathode, nickel oxide combines with the H2O molecules, water molecules. हे बेसमधून मध्ये प्रेझेंट आहेत वॉटर मॉलिक्युल्स आर प्रेझेंट इन द बेस. अल्कलाइन सोल्युशन आहे, बेसिक सोल्युशन वॉटरमध्ये प्रिपेअर केलेला. सो द वॉटर मॉलिक्युल्स फ्रॉम द बेस कंबाईन विथ निकल ऑक्साइड and the 2 electrons from anode are taken by cathode, gained by cathode, and there is formation of nickel hydroxide NiOH twice with 2 times OH minus ions. So we have got the reaction of oxidation and reaction of reduction. The two half reactions we have got. Now to get complete reaction आपण काय करणार, ऑक्सिडेशन आणि रिडक्शन रिएक्शन्स ऍड करा. LHS LHS एकत्र आणि RHS RHS एकत्र. सो व्हाट यू फाइंड, 2 times OH minus get cancelled, 2 electrons get cancelled. राहिलेला CD plus NiO2 plus twice H2O and CdOH twice NiOH twice. This forms the net reaction. So you get the net reaction that is coming here. This becomes the overall reaction of nickel cadmium storage cell. आता the next type of galvanic cell or secondary voltaic cell or secondary galvanic cell is a mercury battery. Now one thing I didn't tell you की EMF प्रोड्यूस किती होतो निकल कॅडमियम सेलचा 1.4 व्होल्टचा EMF तो प्रोड्यूस करतोय अँड इट इज मच बेटर दॅन ड्राय सेल. ड्राय सेल पेक्षा अजून लॉंगर लाईफ यांना असते. ऑफकोर्स तो रिचार्जेबल आहे बट इट हॅज गॉट अ हायर लाईफ. देन वी हॅव the uses as it can be used in electronic watches, in calculators. These cells can be used in spite of using the dry cells जे आपण रेग्युलर यूज करतो एव्हरेडीचे ड्युरासेल एक्सेट्राचे त्याच्यापेक्षा निकल कॅडमियम सेल्स आर बेटर. सेकंड इज मर्क्युरी बॅटरी. मर्क्युरी बॅटरी मध्ये इट इज अगेन अ टाइप ऑफ सेकंडरी व्होल्टाइक सेल. आता याच्यामध्ये द एनोड दॅट इज युज्ड इज झिंक विथ अमलगम. अमलगम म्हणजे काय, मर्क्युरी. So zinc with mercury, you call it a zinc amalgam, is acting as anode and cathode is paste of mercury with carbon is acting as cathode. The electrolyte that is used is KOH with zinc oxide. म्हणजे अल्कली यूज केला आहे with zinc oxide paste. This is acting as electrolyte. So again, there is no diagram in the textbook. You can see it is page number 112 in the textbook. There is no diagram or anything given. Now the reaction at anode. Anode वरती काय reaction आहे? Anode कोण आहे? Zinc with amalgam. So you write it as ZnHg. This is acting as anode. ZnHg combines with 2 times OH minus. Twice OH minus is coming from the base KOH. It is forming zinc oxide with water molecules and loss of 2 electrons. Of course, this is an oxidation reaction. Anode undergoes oxidation and it has a minus charge. So 2 electrons are lost. That is taken by cathode. then मग कॅथोड मध्ये हे 2 इलेक्ट्रॉन्स ऍड होणार रिडक्शन रिएक्शन मध्ये. कॅथोड मध्ये व्हॉट हॅपन्स, HgO mercuric oxide combines with water molecules and 2 electrons from anode are gained. Now HgO, mercury, the paste that is present of mercury in cathode, that is combining from the electrolyte, it is taking oxygen and forming HgO. कॅथोड वरती मर्क्युरी आहे. वी आर युझिंग कॅथोड एज पेस्ट ऑफ मर्क्युरी अँड कार्बन. सो कॅथोड वरती मर्क्युरी जो आहे मर्क्युरी दॅट इज कंबाइनिंग विथ ऑक्सिजन फ्रॉम ZnO and forming HgO with water molecule. It is gaining 2 electrons. This is a reduction reaction. Gain of electron forms Hg and 2 times OH minus. So now to see the overall reaction आपण काय करणार, LHS एकत्र येणार आणि RHS. Now first the 2 electrons will get cancelled. अजून काय दिसतोय, twice of OH minus, twice of OH minus. Remaining लिहून टाका LHS, ZnHg plus HgO. Again H2O हा कॉमन आहे. So I have cancelled it. तो राहिला काय, ZnHg and HgO. And right hand side ला ZnO and Hg. This remains on the right hand side. So here this becomes the net cell reaction. Now this mercury battery is producing EMF of 1.35 volt. इतका EMF mercury battery produce करती है. The substances which you get at the end all are in solid state. हे सगळे solids आहेत. This the physical state of all these substances is solid. ZnO हा paste आहे. So it's semi-solid, solid मिळतो आपल्याला एंडला. And because of that, as this is a solid substance, you will find that the voltage that is produced by mercury battery is a constant voltage. It does not fluctuate. It gives a constant voltage, which is a very advantageous part about the mercury battery. And this mercury dry cells is used in hearing aids, it is used in electrical watches, it is used in pacemakers. Pacemaker is a instrument that is used in heart. Heart साठी यूज होतोय pacemaker for working of heart, proper working of heart. Especially the people who have got problem in the heart, त्यांच्या हार्ट मध्ये pacemaker हा एक instrument fix होतो. In pacemakers, these mercury batteries or mercury dry cells can be used. So this becomes the advantage of mercury battery.